Have you ever heard someone saying, I lived in London, but then heard someone else say, I have lived in London, or I have been living in London, and thought, wait, what's the difference? Don't worry, you're not alone. With this video, you're going to master these 3 powerful English tenses, and I'll use real-life examples to help you feel the difference. Let's start with the first example, about living in London. I lived in London. I have lived in London. I have been living in London. Without any other context, can you feel the difference in meaning? Who lives in London now? I lived in London. This is past simple. It means, I lived there in the past, but not anymore. The action is finished. For example, I lived in London in 2015. However, I have lived in London means, I lived there at some point in my life. And maybe I still do. Present perfect highlights life experience, or the result of an action, not the time. For example, I have lived in London, so I know the city well. And I have been living in London means, I started living there in the past, and I'm still living there now. This tense, present perfect continuous, emphasizes the duration of the action, or the ongoing process. For example, I have been living in London for 3 years. So, a quick rule would be, past simple, the action is finished. Present perfect, it's about the experience or result of an action. Present perfect continuous, it's about the duration of the action until now. But sentences don't exist in isolation. There's always context, and certain expressions that point towards the correct tense and meaning. The verb tense, together with these expressions, helps us understand the meaning more clearly. For example, expressions like, yesterday, 2 days ago when I was a child. These words point to a specific moment in the past. They answer the question, when? So, you'll use the past simple with them. But, if what happened is more important than when it happened, you'll use the present perfect simple. Words like already or yet, just and since or for. These are used when the exact time is not important, but the result or experience is. And, because the present perfect continuous puts emphasis on the duration, on how long, we often use it with words like for to refer to a period of time, since when talking about a starting point, and also expressions like all day, all morning, all week, lately, recently. These show that the action started in the past and continues into the present. Now let's look at this other example. Here, there's a time expression for a whole month that can be used with all 3 verb tenses. So, how does each tense change the meaning? Let's go back to our table. First, the past simple. The action is finished. Your work is over. An example with more context would be, I worked on this project for a whole month last year, a specific time, and it was exhausting. Now look at, I have worked on this project for a whole month. Here, the experience of working on this project is the most important piece of information. We don't know if the work is finished. We only know that I've worked on it up to now. An example with more context might be, I have worked on this project for a whole month, and I still don't understand it. And then, we have the present perfect continuous. This tense tells us that the action is still happening and how long the work has been going on. A whole month. Now, here's a bonus example for advanced students. What's the difference between I have worked on this project for a whole month and it's not over yet, and I have been working on this project for a whole month and it's not over yet? The first sentence tells us that you started working a month ago and have continued until now. You're emphasizing the amount of time you've spent, or the fact that the work has been done, even though it's not finished yet. You want to highlight the achievement or progress, as if saying, "Look how much time I've already invested." And the second sentence tells us that the action started in the past and is still happening right now. You're focusing on the process, the effort, and the fact that it's still continuing. You want to highlight how long and ongoing the task has been. You're saying, "I'm still doing it, and I'm tired." In everyday English, if you want to state how much work you've done, like in a report or update, use "I have worked." If you're talking to a colleague and want to express your current struggle or effort, use "I've been working." It's almost the end of the video, so here's a quick recap. Use past simple for finished actions at a specific time. Use present perfect for experiences or results linked to now. Use present perfect continuous to show ongoing actions and duration. So, why are you learning English? I've always wanted to speak fluent English, but at school, I always failed. So I've been trying to improve ever since. Now it's your turn. In the comments, can you show us an example with all three verb tenses? And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this lesson with your study buddy.